All right, guys, what's going on? Welcome to Don's Modeling Desk, and we're continuing on the Orville. Last week while I was off work, let me turn this on. Last week while I was off work for Christmas shutdown, I got all of this put together.
Wow.
So she looks like that now.
Wow.
This part isn't glued on yet, but
I gotta
I
say,
got on.
it's looking fantastic, Donnie.
Thank you.
It's coming together nice.
In the engine. But I'm gonna be working some seams. I'm gonna take this off before it falls off somewhere. I'm gonna be working on some of these seams on the bottom. I got the top ones done. These seams right here
Yeah. So
are
you'll be using
right there.
resin.
Yeah.
You can't even see it.
I know, I love that.
Barely. Andrew's here, Donnie. He says, "Good evening, gents."
What's going on, Andrew? Hey, did you see my message in Discord, Andrew? Do you want the version of the hull with the Orville registry on the hull in raised letters, or do you want just the smooth hull, no registry molded into it? That's the way I did mine. There's no registry on mine.
You gonna paint it on?
I'm gonna try to get somebody to do some custom decals.
Okay. Trent's here. Trent says, "Hey, Donnie, Jody." Andrew says, "No."
What's going on, Trent? No raised registry. That's kind of what I thought, Andrew, but I just wanted to ask. There's a version of each, one with, one without, and I just wanted to ask.
I think Andrew meant to put a comma there. He means no. Raised registry.
Oh, my bad. My bad, Andrew. What's going on, Trent? But yeah, I got the first two parts of your Orville printing right now. So.
Oh, Andrew is getting an Orville. That's awesome. I heard him. Remember, he mentioned thinking about it a while back, or
yeah, we talked about it offline.
Yeah, excellent.
Where is my triangle-shaped file?
So he says, "Are you looking for someone to do the artwork, or just have the print work done for your decal?"
I could probably find the artwork. If you know somebody that could do the artwork and the print work, that would be great too. Either way. It says, and no race registry, none, nada, zip, smooth as an Android's bottom.
Yeah, we knew that. That was just Lionel Hutz. Todd's here. Todd says, "Good evening, all." Good evening.
There's my triangle file. I didn't put it back where it goes. That's why I couldn't find it.
Uh-oh. Trent says, "Hey to Todd."
Yeah, see, that's the way I did mine. There's one version that has the Orville's name right here.
Oh, yeah?
Kind of like in raised letters.
But it doesn't look like that on the show.
Right. I mean, it's the correct font and everything, correct size, correct font. It's just raised.
Just
so you could just
want to get a decal, you can just paint it or
exactly
roll a stamp over it or something.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the raised letters either.
On the Franklin, does that one have raised letters? Yeah,
it does.
Yeah,
and it's molded. I don't know why they did that. It has decals for the registry and all, but it's still raised letters. I don't know why. Well, wait, was the ship in the movie? Did it have raised letters? I don't remember.
I wouldn't either. I saw the movie once, and there's probably not even that great of a shot of it.
Yeah, dude. All three of those movies I watched one time, and I was done. I'm just not a fan of those movies.
So Andrew says it's either raised or it's a depression, one or the other.
Yeah, I don't remember either, Andrew.
If it's a depression, that's cool because you can just kind of fill it with paint or colored resin.
Right.
And then
But the thing is, every other Star Trek ship just has flat letters.
Yeah, for sure.
I think you're right, Andrew. I think it's depressed, recessed. I think you're right. Oh God, no, I gotta know. Hang on. No, not the Franklin aircraft carrier.
Not the cartoon turtle either.
Well, I typed USS Franklin and it gave me the.
Oh yeah, the aircraft carrier.
Yeah.
Stupid Google. It's always giving you the real stuff first.
Yeah, it's recessed, Andrew. It's recessed. Okay, I just had to know that.
Trent says no one wants a depressed starship.
This is true.
Although if I had a kit that had the name sort of as an impression like that, I would try. My first thing to do would be trying to paint it and then just,
Right, and I mean,
edges.
like this Orville giving you the option of having the raised letters that you can paint or not makes sense because it's a 3D printed kit, and if you don't have no way to get decals made for it,
that's right.
Then you can just print it with the raised letters and paint them. But
that makes it easier to paint.
But the Franklin is a injection molded kit.
Yeah,
it comes with decals. And I guess they made them recessed like that because they're actually recessed in the movie, which doesn't make sense because no other Star Trek ship is that way. But
it's supposed to be an older ship too, right? Andrew says
right. But
it's depressed.
Like the TOS Enterprise is older than the Franklin. It's not recessed, and I don't know. It makes no sense to me.
Andrew has a good point here. He says he would fill it so that he could give it any name he wants. Yeah, if you weren't going to do the Franklin, sure. Depending on the size and complexity, the name and registry, which I think is quite simple on the Orville, you could cut a vinyl mask. And
it's just the registry number and then the name USS Orville.
Yeah, you could get...
Or I don't think it even has USS. It's just Orville, I think.
You could get a lot of guys in the group have those cutters, right?
Yeah, make some masks.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good idea too.
I have one too, but it's a handheld one.
Andrew has one. I mean, yeah, Andrew has one, but Jordan has one.
Yeah, mine's a manual one.
Here in the U.S., it's called a knife.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have one of those too, but it doesn't work very well.
Practice.
Maybe I need to update the software or something.
Andrew says, I'm still considering cutting vinyl and painting the registry on the 650D.
Oh, that would be cool, Andrew.
Absolutely.
But it's got see the registry on the Enterprise D has the pinstriping around it and all. Ooh, shoo, that would be.
Yeah. You could do that quite easily.
By the way, something that I figured out in the process of doing all this so far, on scenes like this where you're trying to fill them, take a triangle file and just kind of file that line out and make it into like a little V groove.
Yeah.
it works
Make it nice
so
and-
much better.
Yeah, then it's perfectly even on both sides, the same.
Well, not so much even on both sides because these are pretty much flush anyway. There's just a little gap there. But if you use the file to make it like a little V groove to let the resin settle down in there a little bit
Mhm.
before you cure it, you come out with a much smoother result. You know what I mean?
Yeah, then you have far less sanding. Stephen Haynes is here, saying hi. Good evening, Stephen.
It's like, I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but see how you can still see the seam right there? You can't feel it at all, but you can
I
still
can
see it.
barely see it.
Yeah. But like right here, I did that little V groove and you can't even see it.
Oh, so you didn't do that on the other one you showed?
Right. I hadn't figured that out yet.
Okay, I see. Yeah.
It's a learning experience.
Yeah, for sure. As is everything, right?
Right.
Andrew says, Donnie, I just sent you a picture of the rough proof of concept for painting the registry on Discord. Yeah, I've Andrew showed that on the streams there a couple times, and it looks good, right? That was just a practice run, and it's almost perfect as it is.
I think I saw him do that a while ago.
Yeah, he did that on a discarded piece of the Excelsior, I guess.
Yeah, but that was like months ago, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
and the lifeboats, yeah.
Yeah, I remember that now. Yeah, okay.
Which are half decal and half paint job.
Yeah.
Which really
That
makes
looks good for just a quick try.
Yeah. It gives the escape patches that little extra depth.
Right? Are those escape hatches painted on too?
There he painted the hatches and then he put a decal over the paint job, so the color of the hatch and the red line and some of the details are paint, and then there's a decal over that
with all the text.
Yes.
Nice.
Andrew says there are some paint bleeds, mostly because I used the spray can for the red paint, as I had no proper paint stock at the time. So yeah, there you go, man. You get your
Looks like most of the paint bleeds though came from the blue. The blue bleeding onto the white.
He says I'm going to run another test go of the registry, but do it properly all the time.
Yeah, I think if you took your time, that would come out looking awesome.
Yeah. I was chatting with Bill Krause online there a couple weeks ago, and I asked him if he paints the registries or he makes custom decals.
Oh, I'm sure he paints them.
For the smaller ones, he does decals, but for the bigger, anything 350 scale or larger, he has masks made and he paints them.
Yeah, I kind of figured he would. I mean, the dude makes custom photo etch parts. Like the rotating Bizarre, the little photo etch piece inside of his rotating Bizarres.
Yeah.
I mean, if you can do that, what's making a few paint masks?
So Andrew says the two colors of the escape hatches are painted, and the black lines and red stripe is decal. Okay, so the black outline around the thing and the red line on it is the decal.
They look sweet.
Yeah, man, for sure. They look excellent.
Resin.
Very, very good. I'd like to get to that level of fine finish work. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like I make cool looking, unique models, but when you look up close to it and look at the finished work and the paint and the seams and that, it's not even close to the level of what you guys do.
I don't know, man. Some of yours look good, really good.
From afar.
Dude, I saw some of yours at Wonderfest.
Yeah. I'm getting better though. Putting more effort into the fine details, right?
Right. And I know one thing, I cannot make seams completely disappear on a plastic kit like I can on this resin.
Well, no, because you're using the exact same material as the kit itself, right?
Right.
Andrew says, I assume, Donnie, that you know exactly where each of those red black wires go, right?
Yes, exactly. They all go right there.
So I mentioned this to Donnie before the stream started, but my wife and I were watching John Taffer's bar rescue, and they were in Murfreesboro, Tennessee, at a bar called the MT Bottle. And I didn't finish watching the episode yet, so don't spoil it for me, Donnie.
I'm sorry.
Donnie said he's never been to the MT Bottle. Howard's here. Good evening, Howard. He says they're better than mine. I haven't made any. You've made plenty of models. Steven says hi to Howard.
Howard says he hasn't made any models.
Have you? Most of what I've seen from Howard is like wood models and part work kits. Like you must have done some plastic model kits, right? Some Starships or some cars. No plastic.
Well, I mean, it doesn't matter. Wood models and part works are models.
Yeah, man, those are still models. You're
So,
doing the delicate finish work and finishing touches on it to make it look good.
yeah, he come back and said not plastic ones. You've never done a plastic model kit, Howard?
Well, he's got that big Excelsior one.
That's not plastic.
Well, yeah, but it's still the same idea as a plastic model kit, right? All the components are the same shape, and you put them together.
Yeah. That's a good old resin kit.
Mm-hmm. Well, I don't even know where I'd have to rent another apartment in the building to build one of those.
I'd have to ask them, hey guys, what resin did y'all print this with? Because I need to fill gaps.
Supply, yeah, supply of it. It's a good idea. Might be something that Andrew should consider too for his next big resin model. Fill the gaps and seams.
But see, that's what I'm saying. Andrew's just using filler on those big enterprises, and he can make the gaps disappear completely. Just using. I've never been able to do that with just filler.
Well, he's putting a lot of work into doing that, though.
Well, I did too, and I still have gaps.
Well, yeah, I'm not saying you didn't put a lot of work into it, but you know what I mean. He's got to work hard to get that done. Howard says, yeah, but not finished. Other than the one I showed you guys of the Budweiser horses. That's a terrible paint job. It wasn't too bad. I thought it looked pretty good. It's a cool looking model. The thing with the horses and the wagon and all the barrels or all the beer, that was pretty cool.
I've never built that kit, but from what I've heard of it, it's a terrible kit anyway. So to get it to look decent is doing something.
Yeah. I wouldn't worry about my model building skills if you can produce a finely crafted wooden box like the one that you gifted us.
Right?
That they gave to Mary that time we stopped by to visit him. I showed it on stream. It's freaking beautiful, man. It's like the nicest wood thing I've ever seen.
I sure as hell can't do that.
Crafted by someone. No, me neither. Not to a detail like that. Everybody's saying hi to Howard in the chat. So, to follow up on Andrew's question, Donnie, where do those wires go?
To lights.
There's a lot of them.
There is. But I mean, each light box, you know, all the time I spent building all those light boxes.
Yeah.
Each one of those light boxes has a little bit of LED tape in it. Plus, I've got LED tape here. I've got all this light that I put in here for the shuttle bay and those lights on the spine right here. I've got lights in here, this strip back here. So all of those lights all culminate in these two little bundles of wire.
Yeah, and those will all be joined together to the power source.
Right. These will be joined to the wires from the front, and then I'll have to figure out where I'm going to bring the wires out at for the stand.
Yeah.
Which I've got.
You haven't even plotted out the stand yet?
Yeah, I've got some of the parts. I got them sitting over here. Some of them just got through curing in the thing.
Howard says they're going to go to the battery and a switch.
Let's see this and these, and there's another one of these and some couple other little parts that all go together to make the stand.
Okay, that's an interesting looking stand. That's got
still got all the supports on it too.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. But it's like a bunch of arcs.
Yeah,
that's cool looking. So do you know where the center point is, like the balance point on it?
I'll have to figure that out when I get the stand put together.
Once the ship is together, you can find the center.
And then I'll have to figure out where I'm going to run my wires into the stand. When Ian sent me those figures for the Millennium Falcon that he wanted me to paint for him,
yeah,
he sent me that little display sander.
Yeah.
And he sent me Andy's Hobby Headquarters sanding stick.
Really?
I have to admit, though,
how does it work?
It's a good sanding stick.
It's nice and thick, eh?
Well, and coarse. It's
yeah,
a very coarse grit, which works good for knocking this resin down.
I got so many different sanding and filing things now, it's ridiculous.
Oh, I do too. I have all of these.
Oh, that's a nice selection. I have a couple of those, but not too many.
Where did I put the other ones?
I get those nail file boards.
Oh, right here.
That are almost as good as those sanding sticks.
Yeah, plus I just bought all those off of Amazon, and it came with these.
Oh.
Yeah, all of that, dude, was like $14, $15.
That's not bad.
No.
We got some little things somewhere here, too, that they're like little sticks that are coarse like that. Oh,
Hell, if you want some of them, Jody, I'll send you some of them.
No, that's all right. I have some that Ken sent me. They're very similar, but they're coarse all the way down. It's like I don't know, a 5-inch long plastic rod, and it's pointy at one end, like
Oh yeah, I've got some of those.
and it's got coarse material all the way down the length of it.
Yeah, I've got some of those somewhere. Are they in here? Nope, they're not in there. They're around here somewhere. They're white.
Howard says I had to look at the model again to get to the understanding of what Donnie was doing, or what I was seeing on Donnie's desk. He's like, okay, he's scratching the Orville's belly.
Yes, I am.
The belly rub. Yeah, the ones I got there's some white ones, and there's some blue ones, and there's some gray ones, so they're different.
That's probably the same ones I've got. Came from Hobby Lobby's where I got mine.
Yeah. The gray ones are the coarsest, and the white ones feel like the smoothest, and the blue ones are like in between. Ken sent me those with a bunch of supplies and stuff. It was super nice of him. He sent me some Tamiya super thin glue.
Oh, I love Tamiya extra thin.
In the hang of.
Tamiya extra thin is good stuff on plastic models.
Yeah, for certain applications. It came in
not so much for resin. I'm going to have to put some more right there. It's something in there.
So still a little bit of an indent?
Yeah. I was trying to get as much of this done off stream as I could because I know it's no fun to sit and watch somebody sand and sand.
Yeah, but it's fun to chat and hang out with you. It's not really so much about watching you sand. It's about watching you build the model in general. And,
Well, that's true, but still.
Chatting. I was thinking about another game we could play on stream besides trivia.
What's that?
Guess what ship this is?
Yeah, that would work.
I would have to prepare it for next week, though. So my idea...
Just throw up a picture of the ship and say, what ship is this?
No. Throw up just a picture of a small part of the ship, really close up.
Oh, that's even better.
Yeah, because I was looking at pictures today on my phone, and I was scrolling, and at the bottom of the screen, before I scrolled all the way up, I could see just the very top part of a photo of the Enterprise E, and I knew instantly that which one it was.
Well, the E was very unique.
Yeah, but just by seeing the first 6 feet of the front end of it. And then I was like, oh, that's the E right there. And I scrolled up and I was like, yeah, I don't know. I think that would be fun.
Sovereign class.
Facebook, I used to play this photo guessing game on Facebook where I'd take super close up, super macro pictures of things, like just whatever things, right? A piece of material or pizza or, whatever, some grass or your eyebrow. And then I'd post them and people would try to guess what it was. And it was fun. Howard says, where's the time lapse button to get Donnie to sand faster? Is anyone else seeing the video sort of pause a lot and then go and skip and pause and skip, or is it just me?
My video?
Yeah, it might just be me and my internet. Every once in a while, your audio never stops, but every once in a while, you just freeze for a second or two.
Is anyone else seeing my video freeze?
Yeah, I'm just wondering if it's just me or if anyone else is getting that. No problems here, Andrew says. Trent says, seems good to me. Okay, so it's probably just my my signal here is a little bit slow
Okay.
sometimes. I'm
I was
not
gonna
missing
say.
anything or anything you say. It's just
Yeah, I was gonna say I have Chitterbox open in the background, but that shouldn't be enough to make it skip. I gotta get these unhooked so I can move it around. And I like to use the back edge of an X-Acto blade to try and get a nice edge on these raised areas when I run the resin right up next to them.
just to get rid of any little fragments.
Well, if you just sand right up against it, you end up with like a rounded edge right there instead of a nice sharp edge. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I like to try to get it back to the nice sharp edge that it's supposed to be.
So Howard says I have that do that once in a while, but I think it's probably the internet. Steven says his is good. Yeah, I think it's just because there's other people here using the internet at the same time, and I think the kids are playing an online game.
That could be.
Or like video chatting. Andrew says, I was running so many programs on my computer while live streaming Saturday. I was worried I was overtaxing the system, but didn't seem to have any problems.
How many programs were you running, Andrew?
I saw his taskbar at the bottom there. It was halfway filled.
Really?
But if you have a good enough computer, it shouldn't be a problem. Howard says, I just have shitty internet, like me with glitchy sound at times. But that's my phone trying to handle everyone talking. Yeah, a phone has a hard time when there's lots of data going back and forth through it, especially on Wi-Fi connection.
Yes, cellular's not quite as good as Wi-Fi. Sanding, sanding, sanding. I like these little skinny sanding sticks for getting into little areas like this.
Yeah. And I like the ones that are kind of soft and flexible.
Yeah.
With a bit of padding, you know.
That's what this one is. It's like sponge in the middle.
Yeah.
It's hard sponge, but it's sponge.
Well, it has a plastic layer in the middle, and then it has a little foam layer on either side.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the grit on it. That's the paper. Andrew says I had StreamYard's vMix, his streaming software, Audacity for recording audio for the video he was working on, DaVinci Resolve for editing, and creating the video while streaming, along with 3 cameras.
Do you use vMix instead of OBS, Andrew? I've never used vMix. I don't know nothing about it.
Howard Howard says, well, it's on Wi-Fi, but also dependent on if Buddy is also using it too. And I think that's when it cuts in. Yeah, when there's lots of traffic on your internet network, you lose a bit of connection here and there. And Andrew says, I also had Discord open, YouTube Studio, and perhaps a couple other things.
What's vMix, Andrew? Is it kind of like OBS or something else?
It's his streaming software, so probably something like OBS. He says, I use vMix when I'm live streaming. I use OBS for some things as well. Depends on what I'm doing.
Yeah, but is vMix different than OBS or just does the same thing in a different way? Or I've never heard of vMix. I'm just curious.
And Andrew Howard is saying he still needs the help to understand what he's doing with the transitions. And he says,
Well, when you're switching from one scene to another?
Yeah, they're kind of trying to go over it on Andrew's stream Saturday night, but it's during the editing of the video.
Oh, during editing. Yeah, okay.
Just having a hard time with the transition between two clips.
Well, if you use DaVinci, you can on your timeline, when you put your two clips, leave a little gap between them, however long you want the transition to be, and then you can just drop the transition right in there, just like it's another video clip, if you understand what I'm saying.
Yes, that is exactly what Andrew said too on Saturday.
You know, if you want a 2-second transition, you leave a 2-second gap on your timeline between the two clips, and then you find the transition you want, just drag and drop it right into that 2-second gap.
But I think what Howard was trying to say is that once he adds the transition, he can't see it on his video timeline. Like, he can't see where it is.
Well, then you'll have to zoom in on the timeline a little bit. Your transition may be so small, you know, like if you got a 2-second transition and you're showing the whole length of your video at one time on the timeline, you're not going to be able to see that little 2-second spot. You're going to have to zoom in on your, you know what I'm saying? Zoom in so that all the way across your screen is only a couple minutes worth of video on your timeline, and then you'll be able to see the 2-second transition.
Yeah. So Andrew says vMix is a broadcast suite similar to OBS, but more user-friendly from a user interface point of view. Well, you know what? Maybe I'll try that one, Andrew. The workflow is much more intuitive. Maybe I'll give that one a try if it has like a free trial version or something that I can check out.
I've learned OBS, and I don't want to start over again.
I haven't learned OBS, and I tried, and I got too frustrated with it, so I'm willing to try a different program.
Have you had anybody sit down and try to help you with OBS?
No, not really. I'd like to try to start editing on a larger screen, right? Like my computer screen instead of just my cell phone screen.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to see.
Well, I mean, even recording on your cell phone, you can drop those videos, plug your phone into your computer, download the video from your phone to your computer, and then edit on your computer.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. But it's the editing programs on the computer. The one that I have on my phone, because I don't even use the same one for editing. I record on a different phone, and then I put it to the computer, and then I put it on the other phone that I use for doing the editing.
Why don't you just edit it on the computer while you've got it on the computer?
Because I can't figure out how to use the editing software on the computers. It's too complicated for me.
Which one do you have?
I've tried OBS.
OBS is not for editing.
No, I mean I've tried the DaVinci Resolve.
I
and
can show you how to do
butter.
basic editing in DaVinci. I can't do any of the fancy stuff like Steve used to do or like Andrew does or Jordan, but I can show you how to do the basic stuff in DaVinci. Put two clips together, throw in a transition, stuff like that. I can show you how to do in DaVinci.
Andrew says the same thing. And Don is here. He's been here for a while. He says, howdy, y'all.
Andrew would probably be the better person to do it because he knows more about it than I do.
Well, he says I can hop on a call with you, Howard, if you like, sometime. So he'll be busy helping Howard.
Well, I mean, I can hop on a call sometime with you, Jody, and show you what I know about DaVinci, but that's very basic.
That sounds fantastic. When I'm ready to give it a try one day.
What I know about DaVinci is the basics. Because even when I make standalone videos for stuff, I just record clips in OBS and then just put them together in DaVinci and done. I don't do all the fancy stuff.
Yeah, I like to try to get a little bit creative with my videos. So that's why I like the one that I use now, because I know it really well and I'm very proficient with it.
Right.
Just small to look at. If I had a way to cast my screen to like the monitor or something, that would be perfect.
And that, that's cool. Some people enjoy the editing process as much as they do everything else. I enjoy the building process, and I just like to do the videos so I can show everybody else how to do stuff, or maybe help somebody else figure out how to do something, but I don't spend a lot of time on it, making it fancy.
Andrew says, I can have my Wonderfest production assistant do an in-person tutorial.
Hey, there you go.
When we're there, if you like.
That's what I need. I need a video assistant. Guys that do stuff like that want to get paid, though.
Yeah.
I'm broke.
Which they deserve to be.
They do. I'm not saying they don't. I'm just saying I broke.
Yeah, I hear you there, buddy. Howard says, I'm starting to get it by trial and stupidity. I think he means...
Hey, that's the same way I learned, Howard.
By clicking the buttons. Yeah, that's I've been there.
What does this button do? Whoa, why is all my clips gone?
Yeah.
I've done that.
Like on the program that I use, when I add a clip at the end of the other one, there's a split in between the two clips automatically, and it shows me a little icon. And if I tap the icon, it brings up a menu of about 20 different transitions I can use. And I just pick one, and then I can just...
Well, there might be a way to do that in DaVinci that I just don't know about.
I just move a slider bar to choose how long I want the transition to last.
Yeah, DaVinci has that.
Yes, Andrew says you can select exactly how long your transition is going to be. Yeah, I saw you selecting it on Saturday's stream there.
But I spent time learning OBS. I don't really want to start over. At one time, me and Eric and Buck, we were using OBS for streaming. You can stream directly from OBS.
Yeah.
The problem is it's set up for one person to stream directly from OBS.
Oh,
It's
you
hard
can
to
have-
do a group stream like we do all the time
Yeah.
in OBS. That's why we ended up going with StreamYards. Because StreamYards is designed to allow multiple people streaming at one time and all that.
Yeah, it's kind of like a Zoom call.
Yeah, exactly.
So Andrew says, you just need enough clip at the beginning and at the end of your clips for the program to blend them for the transition. Yeah. So Andrew says, Donnie, I'll need a little of the resin for doing this work on the Orville, but what kind of shelf life does it have?
Dude, I've left resin sitting in the printer for months. That stuff, only thing you gotta do is if you let it sit for a long time, all the pigments and stuff will settle to the bottom. So you need to shake it or mix it. Like if I leave resin sitting in the printer for a month or two, when I go back over there, all the pigment will be in the bottom of the vat and everything on top will be clear. Look like, water on top.
Yeah.
And I'll just take my little silicone spatula and just sit there and stir it around until it's all mixed again. And once you get it all mixed again, it's good to go.
Excellent.
And I mean, I've had this resin in this little bottle here for several months. I just shake it up when I get ready to use it, and it goes.
What's the viscosity on that stuff? Like, is it pretty runny? Does it sort of even itself out and flatten out?
Not really. It's about the same viscosity as I would say like regular super glue, not the runny super glue or not the gel super glue, but kind of in between.
Yeah, the standard.
Like this stuff right here, the
Yeah.
regular Gorilla super glue.
Yeah.
It's not watery, but it's not like gel either. It's just kind of
it's a little bit thick.
it's about the same viscosity as that. Temperature also makes a big difference. If you warm up the resin, it's way less viscous.
Okay.
Whereas if it's cold, it's even more viscous. Which is why it's important to have the resin at the right temperature when you're printing.
So Howard says to Andrew, that's the part I'm trying to see how you overlap them. You're clicking through it fast. See, he didn't overlap them. What he did was he cut a little bit from the end of the preceding clip and then cut a little bit from the beginning of the next clip and then left a little bit of space on the end of each one so that the transition has a spot to go into. And then he says, Donnie's baking resin cookies.
I are.
Resin cookies.
See, when you put it on there, it'll just kind of sit there. If you tip it way over, it'll run, but
It will, yeah. You probably have to hold it there for a couple seconds for it to run.
yeah.
So yeah, that's what I was meaning, Andrew. There's not a space between the clips, but you leave a space at the end and a space at the beginning.
Well, no, I think what he's saying is you got two clips you want to put together, but
So
you don't want to be talking all the way up to the end of the first clip and then start talking
Exactly.
immediately at the beginning of the second clip. You want a little bit of dead space at the end of the first one and the beginning of the second one so that the program can blend the two clips together.
Yes, exactly. I see a lot of videos where there's a hard edit and the person cuts themselves off in the middle
Yeah.
of the sentence. So yeah, it's easier to get on a video chat with a screen share. Yeah. Howard says, actually, Donnie, bake some cookies from that STL file, paint them, and bring them to Wonderfest.
I should do that. Hey guys, I brought you some cookies. Enjoy. I wonder if I could make it real enough, real looking enough that they wouldn't realize it till they picked them up.
You know what? If you could get them dull, sort of, a lot of texture and no shine at all, except maybe on the chocolate chip parts. You'd have to mask off the cookie part and paint a gloss clear coat on the chocolate chip parts.
No, you just paint the chocolate chips with slightly glossy paint.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. But there's that, too. See, that's why you're the master. I'm going to step away for a second.
I don't know about that.
I'm going to go grab myself a fresh coffee.
Well, you do that, Jody. I have myself a fresh Mountain Dew. I'm just going back over the areas I sanded with that coarse sanding stick with this 400 grit to try and take the scratches out. Still got some right there. I hate it when I end up in the area where I have to sand it right-handed. That should work. I think I need a little more right there. White. You see those cookies that look real? It would be nice if I could get some of them to look good enough that they thought they were real till they picked them up and realized, wait a minute, this cookie feels plastic.
And I'm back. What did I miss?
Everything.
I can still hear you.
I figured you could.
So, Andrew, since you're here and you're listening, I thought you should know I used some of those 12-volt LED strip lights that you gave me at Wonderfest. I have one of those light pads, the same as Andrew has. You know, the plastic light pad. Have you seen that, Donnie?
Yeah, that thing is cool.
Yeah. So I have one of those too, but it's big and it's cumbersome and it's plastic and I can't cut on it. So I have this piece of glass that was. You ever see those computer desks and they'll have like shelves on them?
Yes.
It's a really thick. It's like a centimeter thick piece of glass, and one side of it is frosted. So I painted the frosted side white, and I put the 12-volt LED strip all the way around it, and I made basically the same thing as one of those light pads that Andrew and I have, but the light goes all the way around instead of just being cast from one edge. And I hooked it up to a 12-volt adapter that I had from an old radio and a plug, and it works wonderfully.
Better than the one you had?
Actually does work better than the one I had, and it's glass, so I can cut on it. Right? I can cut stencils and masks and stuff with tape and with vinyl.
Right.
Like I could cut on the other one too, but it leaves scratches, and plus it's a little harder to cut on plastic. There's a thing about cutting on glass where you have this kind of aspect of control.
Yeah, glass is slick.
Yeah, but your blade's not sinking into the glass, so it
Yeah,
won't get
'cause
stuck and caught, so you can smoothly move it around and change
Right.
directions. And
And right here,
Andrew says Donnie's next show is this model or cake?
there you go. Now I got to remake this panel line that got filled with resin.
Oh, you accidentally got some in one of the lines?
Well, no, the seam went across this panel line.
Oh, okay, I see.
See how this panel line curves around right here? It goes across that seam. Well, when you fill that seam with resin, you're going to fill part of that panel line.
Okay, so just that one little section you're clearing out.
Yeah, so I got to clear that back out. Get it back to the same depth as what the rest of it is.
Howard says, I suppose I should get up out of bed and do something.
Why?
It's 10 o'clock, man. You might as well stay in bed now. Get a good night's sleep.
It's 9 o'clock. It's not 10 o'clock.
It's 9 for you, but it's 10 for me and Howard.
There we go.
Past, man. Get with the times, Donnie.
Well, we got that seam took care of.
Looks good.
What is that bump right there?
Is there a boot in the road? nasty beauty.
Ah, oui.
Enjoy some of these fine maple leaf cookies that Ken sent. These aren't the same.
Oh, those things are good.
Yeah, I've never seen this brand of them before.
He sent some of those last year. Those are good.
They're more like the ones that I remember from when I was younger than the ones we get now, which is called Dare. And they're not quite as good as these ones. These are a little bit less sweet and a little bit more mapley flavor.
Well, ask Ken where he got those, and maybe you can get some.
Well, I'm sure he got them in Winnipeg.
Well, yeah, but there may be a certain store he got them at that you would be able to find somewhere around where you are.
That's true, but there's a lot of things that are just kind of local. You know what I mean? There's national brands of lots of stuff, but there's certain things that are just kind of locally made.
Yeah, there's some stuff like that around here too.
Howard says, I've been in bed since 4:30. I was tired and I hate driving, running around doing errands. It seems to wear me out. So
I know what you mean, Howard.
Yeah, Andrew says, not much is local anymore. Yeah, that's true.
There are some things that are still, maybe not local, but regional. One region has this and the other region don't.
Howard says, did you see in Discord, Donnie? I had to pay a tariff on my Yamaha.
I did. I saw that.
About $500 on 2,500 you already paid. Wow.
That's a serious tariff right there.
That's terrible.
Yeah. Yeah, that's not cool. But unfortunately, that's the world we live in now. That's just the world we live in now.
It was a nice day, too. I could have worked on my building a garage. Got about 1 million boxes to break down. The price I pay for our craft.
Paying for what?
Our craft. The hobby of modeling.
It's worth it, though. I just don't understand how some things have gone up in price because of the tariffs, and some things haven't.
The things that are most profitable go up.
Shouldn't it be the other way around?
Yep. A lot of things should be the other way around, Donnie.
Things that are less profitable, I can understand the price going up because there wasn't much profit margin in it to begin with, and the tariffs would eat that right up.
Mm-hmm. Andrew says, the price we pay for arts and crafts. Jody wiggles his eyebrows and winks. Gordon's here. Good evening, Gordon.
What's up, Gordon?
Welcome. Let me know in Discord if you want something, Andrew. I'll be more than happy. These cookies are good. These cookies are delicious. Thank you, Ken.
Yeah, Ken sent some of those last year, and they were awesome.
Glad to see Alec finally got his package today, too.
Yep. And I don't think Alec's box got sent all the way back, did it? If I remember right from what I was reading on Discord at the time, I think Alec and Dave's boxes just got like held. They didn't get sent all the way back to Ken.
No, they didn't get sent back. They got held. Howard says, well, I hope I've tossed out 7 videos so far of the Yamato. Only 100
full-length videos
to make. No, I think just shorts.
Okay, well, I've seen those. I was going to say, if you made 7 full-length videos, I've missed them somehow. I like that Yamato. That's cool.
So, is it the space Yamato or the actual real life?
Space battleship Yamato.
Because I know there is a real one too.
Yeah.
And the space
and that's
that one resurrected, right?
Yeah, that's the premise of the anime.
Yeah.
The Earth was under attack by these aliens, and they took the old Yamato battleship and built it into a spaceship.
Yeah.
Using technology that these other aliens had sent.
Ken saying hi to Gordon. Good evening, Ken.
What's up, Ken?
I was just enjoying some of those delicious maple leaf cookies. Now, I don't know if you heard me saying, but I'm not familiar with that particular brand. They're better than the ones we get around here.
Jody's just rubbing it in that he got maple leaf cookies and we don't.
I'll look for an STL file.
I knew that was coming.
So Howard says, Alec and Dave's made it across the border. Then they had to pay a tariff. And Keith's went through without anything. Yeah, Keith got his with no hitch.
Oh, Alec and Dave had to pay a tariff?
Yeah.
I thought theirs just got held up because of the FDA stuff.
Well, I think it was a little bit of both. It might have been both. Howard says, yes, full length. Donnie, volume 6 was 49 minutes long.
Oh, I got to go check those out then.
One issue.
I didn't get notified about those. I saw all your shorts.
Ken says, good evening, everyone. And everyone's saying good evening, Ken. Trent, from Don, from me, and from Donnie. And, of course, from Howard. How is it in your neck of the woods tonight, Ken? Are you freezing? Is it cold in Manitoba?
It's Canada, ain't it?
Yeah, well, it's not. We get some not too bad days once in a while. Like today, we got as high as minus 11 in the afternoon.
Oh, minus 11.
Yeah. Hey, that's pretty good for January.
Let's see. Right now, it is 52 here, Fahrenheit. I don't know what that is in metrics.
Warm. It's warm. That's probably about 20 degrees Celsius. I think Howard's talking about the maple leaf cookies. He says if you never had any, you won't know what you're missing, Donnie.
The maple leaf cookies, I had them last year, Howard. They are awesome.
Howard didn't. Howard says, unlike you, Donnie, if you never had them, you don't know what you're missing. So I think Howard's saying he's never tried them.
They're good.
I'll have to remember to throw a couple boxes in my car for the trip down this year.
Those maple leaf cookies disappeared faster out of that box last year than the candy did.
Andrew says, yeah, despite popular thought, it's not always cold in Canada. No, even in the winter, we get some half decent days. Like you can go around with no jacket on sometimes in the winter.
Yeah, but you're talking about today is not too bad, and it's what, minus what?
Minus 17 Celsius, or minus 11, sorry.
Minus 11. Yeah, that's freaking cold.
Well, this morning it was minus 26.
That's colder.
11. Yeah.
That's all cold.
But tonight's not so bad. Tonight's
all of the above cold. Well, let's see, like minus 11 would be somewhere around 0, wouldn't it, Fahrenheit?
Yeah, probably something like that. I don't know. I always go to the online temperature calculator, but I don't have my thing handy right now.
12.2 degrees Fahrenheit.
I wish it was 12 degrees Celsius. Howard says, one of them is a bit grainy. I need to get better focus.
Is it focus or lighting?
Probably.
Because sometimes not enough lighting will make your video look grainy.
Yeah, that's true.
Because your camera's trying to crank up the ISO to compensate for being so dark, and then that makes the video grainy.
Andrew says sometimes we even have to worry about the igloos we live in melting. Yeah, once July comes around, your igloos start shrinking. Howard says it was 42 here today. T-shirt weather for Michigan.
Shoot, in Tennessee, your igloo wouldn't last more than a day or two.
Oh, Ken says not.
And then a day or two after that, your melted igloo would freeze into ice on the ground.
Yeah, and then you'd just be sitting in a frozen block. Ken said minus 6 today. Not too bad. 21 degrees Fahrenheit, minus 6.
That's not terrible.
Fog all day.
We had fog a couple days last week.
Are there any large? I know there's a couple large lakes. You got Lake Winnipeg right there, and then what's that other one? Great Bear Lake or something like that. the big shallow one. Great Slave Lake, I think. No, that's in the Yukon. I think it's
The Yukon.
Yeah, right by Winnipeg. Yeah, Lake Manitoba, and then there's the one right beside it that's like shallow, but it's the biggest Canadian lake that's fully in Canada. You know what I mean? Aside from the Great Lakes, Lake Winnipeg and Lake Manitoba. I watched a documentary about it there last week.
I know nothing about
Largest lake by area, but not by volume because it's not that deep for most of it. There's one part of it that's super, super deep, and then most of it is only a couple 100 feet deep. And it's like alongside Lake Winnipeg. Okay, so Lake Winnipeg is the smaller, shallower one. There you go. Yeah, that's what the one I'm thinking of. Lake Winnipeg, and then beside it is Lake Manitoba. Howard says, yes, whatever it is, and you got to remember, I'm not connected directly to the computer. It's all SD card transfer, then edit on computer. I'm not fancy yet, even though I got it all here. It's just not conveniently workable yet. Maybe by the end of the year, I'll have a better setup. That's the hope.
Yeah, I think Howard's computer is upstairs and he builds downstairs, or vice versa.
Yeah, he needs to get someone in to be running cables around.
Well, I mean, he could use Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
That's what I use. My computer's on Wi-Fi.
Ken says Lake Manitoba even had a Coast Guard ship in it, and it was a decent size. Yeah, they're pretty large lakes. Howard says, according to some asshat, I have a swimming creek when the snow melts.
Yeah, so what?
When the snow melts, I apparently have a swimming creek, according to some asshat.
A creek you can swim in?
Yeah.
That's why I never learned how to swim when I was growing up. The only thing I had to swim in was a creek, and it wasn't really deep enough to swim. We just did a lot of wading around and splashing around and catching crawdaddies.
Oh, yeah. It's always fun. We used to do a lot of that, too, up by my grandparents' house when we were kids. Up by the camp. So there's a creek that would run through my grandparents' property. They had a farm. But by the time I was a kid, there was no more farm, but we'd still go back and we'd catch suckers for bait, right? Fishing on Lake Nipissing.
What are suckers?
They're like bottom feeder fish with suckers. And
oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
They're big minnows. They're minnows, but they're big. So you can catch, because Lake Nipissing has some pretty big fish in it. There's muskie, there's sturgeon, there's really, really big pike, and you need a big bait to get those guys, right? So
Right.
we'd go in behind the house, and we'd go down the creek, and we'd catch all the bait fish there every season. And you'd see muskie sometimes if you go during spawning season. I've seen them on several occasions, like a 6-foot long muskie just swimming in the 1 foot deep water creek, swimming around your feet.
What's a muskie?
It's like a pike, but 3 times the size of a normal pike. Like they can get to be 5-6 feet long.
Ah. You can tell I'm not a fisherman, right?
It's called a muskellunge. It looks the same as a pike, pretty much, but just larger, thicker, and heavier. And they're very hard to catch and very rare for people to catch one. Like my dad only ever caught one that he had mount. Like that's the kind of fish when you catch one on Nipissing, you get it taxidermied and mounted. Like because it's that tough,
that rare
to achieve. Yeah, it's a tough accomplishment to achieve to catch a muskie, especially a large one like that. Yeah, Howard says fish with a bad attitude.
But the only fishing I ever did very much is I would go fishing with my grandfather. He had a pond. We'd go fish in the pond and then just throw the fish back in the pond.
Yeah.
So we could catch them again.
Yeah.
But the most fun was just sitting on the side of the pond bullshitting with him, you know.
Oh yeah, that's what fishing's all about, really. That's what we do in the winter when we go ice fishing. I don't go out there to do any fishing. I don't even bother getting a fishing license because I don't drop a line. I just go to hang out
and bullshit.
Yeah, sit in the ice hut in the nice warm thing. Someone else catches a fish, I'll cook it and eat it. But, Andrew says looks the same as pike before or after the BP chair. Before the chair. Lots of teeth, Don says. Yeah, they got lots of teeth. The whole inside of the roof of their mouth and their tongue is covered in tiny teeth.
So they look like pike before the accident.
Yeah. Yeah. The old pike, though. Jeffrey Hunter, not Anson Mount. If Anson Mount is a pike, then a muskie is Jeffrey Hunter. Howard says, people said they would take me out ice fishing. I'm like, F that. I never fished before, but I own a fishing rod now. Well, you don't use a fishing rod for ice fishing. Not the way we do it anyways. We don't have those little fancy ice fishing.
No, you just need a string with a hook on it and a hole in the ice.
Well, we have a tip up. We make tip ups. So it's like a sort of like a lever. So it's like a fishing rod mounted on a little stand that you just have hanging over the hole. And then when the fish bites, you see the thing go down, right? It's inside, so it's held up by the weight.
Yeah.
When a fish takes it, it slams down into the ice, and usually you have a bell on it or something like that.
Yeah, my brother used to do that, but not ice fishing. He would take like 4 or 5 fishing rods, stick the handle in a hole, and then run the string over a little stick with a bell on it, so he could fish in 4 or 5, 6 different fishing rods at one time.
Mm-hmm.
He loved fishing. I didn't care for it that much.
Yeah, and I've done it like many times because everybody I know and in my family is all obsessed with fishing. I could take it or leave it. Ken says, I put a picture of the Coast Guard ship in off topic on Discord. Cool. I'm going to take a look at that later. I've heard about that. I remember hearing it, but I haven't seen too many pictures. Howard says, a piranha, only longer. Way longer. Way longer than a piranha. A friend of mine had an aquarium with a bunch of piranhas in it.
Do they have the same attitude as a piranha?
No, they're pretty docile. And when you're trying to catch one and reel it in, they do. But before they're hooked, no, they're just swimming around the bottom looking for food.
Well, that's what a piranha does, except you're the food.
Yeah, well, you can't go swimming by a bunch of piranhas. You can swim by a muskie, and it's not going to bother you unless you kick it or something. Then it might bite you, but it probably won't. It'll just swim away. Even though it's capable of hurting you quite a bit, it won't. So a buddy of mine had a bunch of piranhas in the aquarium there. He had them for a long time. They ended up getting pretty big. And then one of them died. And then a couple months later, another one died. And I think he had like 5 or 6. And he ended up with, there was only 2 left. And he's like, well, they're all, because they get to a certain age, right? They only live for so long. And they die of old age. I think he had them for like 6 or 7 years. That's pretty long for a little fish. And when he got down to 2 left, he filleted them. And
really?
Yeah, because they were pretty big, right? And he said they tasted pretty much just the same as bass. Same as a bass.
Wow. Filleted his piranhas.
Yeah. See, well, there's no point in letting them go to waste, So before they die, he killed them and filleted them. Andrew says, some of these lakes, you see the pickup trucks parked on the ice every year. Someone leaves a truck on the ice a little too long. Well, you know what they do is they go out way past the time they should, or they go out way before they should. Because people don't know how to gauge the ice these days. Like, they see the ice out there, it's all white and there's a layer of snow on it, and they figure, oh, well, if I can go walk on it, then I can drive on it with my truck. But they have no idea, especially on the bigger lakes, because the ice can be thicker and thinner because of currents and
well, you would think common sense would tell them, that truck weighs a little more than I do.
Yeah.
Of course, common sense is an exceedingly rare thing nowadays.
Yeah, that's why it happens, because people don't have the common sense to make sure that it's safe enough. Like where I grew up, on Vermilion Lake, they plow an ice road out to the little village of ice huts every year. So you can drive your car out to the ice hut village, and it's just like driving down the streets.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
Howard says, I got a bamboo pole that was used for fishing. That would be cool to see. Bamboo fishing pole. It says it's here since I was born. So a vintage bamboo fishing pole. That's something you could sell to a collector. People are
probably.
Oh yeah, the craftsmanship that goes into making those things and the lifespan of them. Bamboo fishing poles are a highly sought after item.
Are they?
Oh yeah. And they're increasingly rarer and rarer, right? Less people are making them. Howard says, I heard the way you do ice fishing is you drill a hole and then you put peas around the hole, and when the fish comes out to take a pee, you hit him in the ice hole. Yeah, Andrew says, what sense? Yeah, it's a rare thing these days. They eliminated the penny here many years ago, so isn't too common anymore. Sure it is. You just get 5 at a time. Common sense. What is this you speak of? These people go out, and every year they always lose people on the lakes.
Yeah.
Well, I've never heard of a single person falling through the ice and dying where I'm from. Doesn't happen very often. Some people lose their trucks and their ice huts, and like sometimes people leave their ice hut on for too long and not get it in time, and it goes down the river. But not any people. When I was younger, we did this every year. We called it the ice flows. So in the springtime, we go down to the boat launch area, and when the ice started getting thinner and softer, soft enough that we could use axes and sledgehammers and big poles and pry bars. So we'd go out onto the ice and we'd break it up into big chunks, into big sections, and then we'd make runs. We'd make like paths, right? We'd line them all up. We had long poles, and there'd be a guy on each side with the long pole sort of lining up the path, and then we'd run from either the shore out to the ice or from one section of ice to another. And then the last person to fall in and get wet was the winner.
That actually sounds kind of like fun.
It was.
If you can swim.
Well, it's only like waist deep.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like we're right by the shore doing this, right? And there's always there'd be at least 20, 30 people there. Plenty of adults and grown-ups. We'd have some of the moms were nurses. We made sure we had extra dry clothes and blankets for people that went into the water, and people brought thermoses of hot chocolate, and you know what I mean? Like, we were prepared.
Yeah.
So it was safe. Well, eventually it was safe. When we first started doing it, it was just a bunch of kids out there running around on broken ice and falling in the water and then walking home soaking wet. But it wasn't cold enough outside at the time to worry about that too much.
Right.
So Ken says, when I worked up north, you could drive on the ice even when there was water on it from the melting ice and snow. When the water disappeared again under the ice, you don't go anymore. No, because the ice is lifting, right? So when the ice lifts, it's no longer floating on the surface of the water. So the water that's on top of the ice is draining away and going down, and then you're left with like a space of air between the water surface and the ice.
And then you're in trouble.
Yeah, because that's just all basically honeycombed with cracks, right? It has no strength whatsoever. It's one thing my dad had a lot of knowledge in, and my brother does too. You know, the lakes and when it's safe to go out, what condition the ice is, and how the lake is. Oh, that looks great, Mary. Nice. I'm gonna have to take a photo and share that on Discord.
I need some glue so I can glue it.
You want to glue the lid? You got it.
Yeah, because I'm going to get the side of it.
You gotta get rid of some of the paint on the thread too. Yeah, I guess it's fine like that. It'll glue down. Mary made a really nice money-saving jar, and she painted Wonderfest on it, and it's really cool. I'll show you guys on Discord later.
Oh, it's cheesy.
Nice.
And Andrew says, it goes burling down and down.
A jar to save up for Wonderfest in?
Yeah. That's where the log driver learns to step lightly. I'll have to try and find that video, Mary, and share that to Discord. Of me standing on, what was it, raft or was it the ice?
Doc.
It was dock, yeah, it was like a piece of the dock. And I was singing that
Your
song,
brothers.
going down the river, standing on the raft with a
Your brother had to pull
long
it out of
pole,
his trailer
and I was singing the log driver's waltz. Howard says, remember, we are America. We aren't the rest of them.
Yeah. That don't mean what it used to, man.
Howard, idiots are everywhere, man. Not just in America, buddy. They're here too. There's tons of them. They're all around me. I see them every day. Not everyone is, but yeah, lots of people are. Lots of people are.
I know what you
Because
mean.
people don't form their own thoughts and ideas. They take someone's word at whatever they say, and they just go with it.
Yep.
Ken
I
says,
saw a video on YouTube, so it's got to be true.
yeah. Unless
No,
it was posted by
no, it doesn't.
Model Desk, it's probably not true. So Ken says we had to use extensions on the auger to drill through the ice to fish. The ice was so thick that semi-trucks fully loaded could drive over it. Yeah, the ice road truckers. Great Slave Lake is one of the lakes where they have roads. And,
Kent used to do ice road trucking.
oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. One of our friends used to do that.
We lived out west.
I don't think that'd be a job I would want.
Well, the pay is fantastic. But yeah,
I'm sure it is.
Well, he was single.
I wouldn't want to do it either.
He's
The pay would have to be fantastic.
probably a thriller. He's weird.
Howard says that's what they call cat ice when it's no longer able to hold the weight of a cat or a
Ice
caterpillar snowmobile.
Huh?
When the ice gets all soft. And
Oh,
can't
yeah.
wait. And Kenneth is here. Evening, Donnie. Sitting here watching your live stream.
Well, thank you, Kenneth.
Awesome. Good to see you, Kenneth. Ken says hi to Kenneth. Several of them are in Ottawa. Agreed. Andrew's referring to the idiots of the world.
Andrew's what?
I'll play with that 6'7". It's just this stupid thing that kids say.
I've never heard that.
I know it's
6767. Mary's just explaining to me what 6767 is.
I have no idea what it is either.
Something kids say. Something kids are doing. Howard says, you missed a spot, Donnie.
I'll get it later.
Yeah. That's what I
So
thought.
6767 is something that kids are doing. I'll
Says, this is supposed to be a 67 free zone.
6'7".
Well, Andrew put 67.
well, what does 6767 mean?
Howard says, they don't even know what it means. But it's cool, I guess. It has something to do with some 6'7" tall basketball player.
That's what they say in the references. It's some kind of TikTok fad where the kids are all going around saying 6'7" and everybody's 6'7", and they even had Halloween costumes. It was really stupid, but there's no like meaning of it. It doesn't mean anything.
Well, that's dumb.
Like a couple of years ago, it was Rick. It was cool. Just stupid lingo.
So they're all yelling 67 just because.
When they say rip, they're saying rest in peace is a short
No.
thing.
Well, yeah.
A few years ago, the kids
that
were
what they're
saying
saying?
rip means cool or awesome.
Oh, well, no, it doesn't. Cool means cool. Awesome means awesome.
I know. It's these little fucking fads that go on, and everybody gets on.
Personally, I think 69 is cooler than 67.
I agree. I couldn't agree more. Andrew says even my 5-year-old comes home one day doing the hand action too. Oh, there's a hand action?
Yeah.
There, yeah, Ken says they're all just talking about Todd. That's all.
That's 68.
Yeah, I think Todd's 6'8".
Close enough.
Because that John dude was like, I'm 6'9", and Todd was like, oh my God, you're an inch taller than me. Because I don't imagine Todd encounters very many people. I'm only like 6'2", and I don't encounter many people that are taller than me.
Right.
Well,
Oddly enough, I've encountered a lot of people taller than me.
Stand up straight.
Todd says depends on the day. 6'8" in the morning, 6'7" later on. Yeah, that happens. We shrink and grow when we sleep. We are when we sleep, our muscles.
Andrew said the same thing I did.
I've encountered 1 or 2 people taller than me. Andrew's talking about his kids.
Hey, one of mine is taller than me.
My kid's like almost as tall as me. She's the same height as you, Mary.
Almost, yeah.
But is 19, almost 20.
Yeah, she's right and sweet.
Todd says, I used to have to adjust my rear view mirror between the drive to work and the drive home. Really?
Wow.
Well, yeah, because when you sleep, your joints expand, right? So the space between your bones swells a little bit.
Well, I guess the space between my bones is so small it doesn't do that.
And when you're you know 6 feet tall and you weigh more than 200 pounds, your body over the period of the day compresses even more and faster than a lighter person would, right? Yeah, I see gravity shrinks me, he says.
Well, what if you're 5'5" and weigh close to 200 pounds?
Well, then you'll probably shrink a little more, because it's the gravity and your own weight that compresses your body throughout the day, standing on
Right.
your knees, your hips and your spine. So when you lay down and take all that pressure off your body, all the spaces in between your cartilages and the discs in your back, they swell back to their normal capacity.
It was nighttime.
Yeah.
It's not gravity, Todd. It's age.
Well, I do often say, because I've noticed when I was 19 or 20, I was 6'3", and now I feel like I'm more like 6'2" most of the time.
Well, my dad was 6'2", and when he died, he was right at 6 foot.
Yeah. Yeah, you get compressed and hunchy. The older you get, the less you'll stretch back out during your sleep time, I guess, probably, right?
I don't know.
Your cartilage and your soft tissues aren't as springy as they used to be.
Or just not there anymore.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, worn down, material is missing, right? the end of your bones get smaller from grinding down.
You just
You need some. Hey, let's try this one.
the smelly one, no.
No, because that might not be. Oh, what is this? Windows Security, Microsoft Defender. Oh, where'd it go? I don't know. Let's
Did
check
you
that
lose your
out.
Windows security?
No, it says it's. I think it just said it just did a scan and it's good. I think that's all it said.
Oh,
Oh yeah, did a scan and did not find any threats since your last one. Thank you.
You're so good, baby.
Like it click. She's like, look, click, click. I was like, oh, okay.
Click on the clock and it'll show you
Boo.
something once it goes away.
Bert,
I didn't know that.
Boo learned you.
Mhm. I got schooled. So if you click on the clock, it shows you your recent notifications. Excellent.
oh, you didn't know that?
No, I didn't know that. I don't know much about how to use computers. Like, I don't know any of the keyboard stuff.
I know very little of the keyboard
dragging and
shortcuts,
dropping,
but I know some of them.
copying and pasting.
I bet Todd knows all the keyboard shortcuts.
Oh, I bet you Todd knows everything.
I started to say I bet Ian knows them all too, but then I realized probably not.
It's not cheesy. One. Der.
Uno, dos, tres, cuatro.
That's really cool. I like it, Mary. Our Wonderfest fund saving jar.
That is a cool idea.
Ken's talking to you, Mary. Says, I hope Jody has been sharing the treats. Oh, yes, of course.
Oh, yes, he has, very much so.
Of course.
And thank you very much. They're absolutely delightful.
Yeah, like I was saying on Saturday, there's not a lot of the chocolate left. We've gone through most of those chocolate bars.
There's Smarties left.
Yeah, there's
They're looking
Smarties.
Mars.
Alex said on Discord he was looking forward to trying the Coffee Crisp. I think you'd probably like that one. Coffee Crisp is a unique flavor of candy bar. There's not really anything else I've had that's like it.
I don't like coffee.
It doesn't taste like coffee per se. It tastes like, you know, if you say, I don't know if you ever tried like a cappuccino ice cream or something like that. It's more like that.
Yeah, but
It's like you're drinking coffee or like eating coffee grounds.
right, but coffee ice cream tastes like coffee.
I don't find it does.
I don't like coffee and I like it.
Andrew says, how do you like your coffee? And I say, crisp.
Well, coffee ice cream tastes like coffee to me.
There used to be this commercial where there was these old ladies at the retirement home and they were having coffee and the one lady's like, how do you like your coffee, dear? And she goes, crisp. And they're like, what? She said, no. I said, how do you like your coffee? And she goes, crisp. And then I think she reached into her purse or something and she pulled out the coffee crisp chocolate bar. And she's like, I like my coffee crisp. And they're like, oh, ha, 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 ha. It was really funny and cute. It was like in the 90s. Ken remembers it because he answered, I like my coffee crisp. I think there was a bunch of different versions of it, but that was like the first one they did with the old ladies. And I think they tried a few other gimmicks after that, but nothing was the same as the old, hey, get out of here. Or come over here. Come here.
Sometimes they do commercials that are funny, and sometimes they do commercials that are just stupid.
Yeah.
It's in the head.
Like, what's going on with the perfume and cologne commercials? Like, what are they even trying to do?
What do you mean?
It's always like just some kind of surreal thing of a person running through a foggy forest with unicorns and ants and and then they're like in an office and then they show the thing at the end and they say Chanel.
Okay. I don't know for sure. I haven't been in no advertising meetings or nothing, but I think it's just the world that we live in today. 10 years ago, a cologne commercial was the guy puts on the cologne and all the girls are, ooh. Or a girl puts on the perfume and all the guys are like, hey, baby. You can't do that nowadays. That's offensive. That's offensive. So you got to do something else. Well, what else can you do?
Oh, right on. Andrew put a link to the Coffee Crisp commercial in Off Topic.
Oh, really? I'll have to check that out after a while.
In case anybody hasn't seen that. Yeah.
I haven't.
I'll check it out too. I haven't seen it in years.
Then again, I haven't seen many Canadian commercials, so.
Ken says, you beat me to it, Andrew. Ken was going to do the same.
It's kind of like the old Snickers commercials. Eat a Snickers. You're such a diva when you're hungry.
Yeah. And we've seen all those. There's some, I don't know, we haven't had like TV service in a long time. So it's been a while since I've seen like, network TV. But back in the day when I was younger, most of the programming we got came from the US. There's a couple Canadian channels, but most of the channels, we'd get NBC and CBS and, all the channels from the US, we'd get those too. And the commercial time, it would be the same commercials that, they are originally broadcasting from the station that's playing the program. Then somewhere around, I don't know, maybe the 2000s or somewhere, what they did was in Canada, when it's time for commercial break, switches to all the Canadian commercials.
That's right about the time, used to, like, you watch TBS or something like that, you'd see all the commercials from Atlanta because that's where TBS is broadcast from.
Yeah, like I think you
But somewhere around
still see
the
that.
late 90s or early 2000s, I guess they developed the right technology to do it or something. You'd be watching TBS and then commercial time come and you'd see stuff in Nashville being advertised. And it's like,
Yeah, you'll see your local
huh?
advertisements. Yeah. Same here. Like we'll be watching something on, NBC, and then you get an ad for Sudbury steam cleaners. Or Shopsy's meat or whatever, like local businesses.
Yeah. It's just weird.
Like you said, they probably just came up with the technology to be able to do it, right? Before they were stuck with whatever the network is broadcasting from its feed. And then now it's like, okay, we got this certain clock that can time it. The computer can time it properly that when you go to your ad break, we'll switch over to the Canadian local commercials. And it's local, like, to your city, too. It's not just generally Canada stuff. Ken says, Canada has some very graphic workplace accident commercials. Yeah. I remember that would be a good one to find, Ken, that robot one. Or that robot.
I seen a video on YouTube of a dude that got caught in some kind of rolling machine.
No, this was like a safety commercial, like a awareness commercial for kids in general. Be careful when you're playing around machinery and, don't play around machinery and be careful. And for its time, it was an amazing technical accomplishment. Like there's this robot that's doing parkour in this 3D rendered world of gears and systems and pulleys and levers, and it's all this industrial mechanical stuff, and then it gets its arm caught in this gear and it tears off, and they show like a close-up of it and it's all sparks. Like it was Hollywood movie quality stuff for
really
a commercial. Yeah, it's like pretty amazing. And then the robot's like, I'm so-and-so, I'm a robot, I can replace my arm, but you can't, so be careful when you're playing. Yeah, Andrew says, I can put my arm back on. You can't. Play safe. Yeah, it was pretty amazing. Todd says, paring down the slow kids in the 70s Jarts ad and off topic. That Jarts, that's the replacement for lawn darts, right? Howard says, I put in one of my favorite toys I got for Christmas. Don't judge me. Oh, yeah, that's cool. Let's all go show all the stuff we had when we were kids in the Discord. I mostly had just those little Matchbox cars. That's pretty much the only toys I had. I had an action figure. I had a He-Man thing, and I had something else. Did you freeze, Donnie, or are you just not on screen? I don't hear him.
That was good.
Oh, you were looking at the Discord.
Yeah, the robot getting his arm cut off. Yeah,
right on. You seen it?
Yeah.
Andrew said it's in off topic. Cool.
All right. Well, I think I'm going to call it here. 2 hours worth of sanding. Yay, excitement. But I got.
Oh, yeah. I remember that, Ken.
I got all these seams took care of except the one right around the middle here.
That's the only one you can see.
Yeah, that's the only one I haven't done yet.
Yeah, like you did. Might I say, seamless.
Well, thank you.
Seamless effort.
But I get that one took care of, and then I'll be able to flip it over and put the other two arches on. They go.
Cool, man. Oh, there we go. Click.
They go right there.
Yeah. Very cool.
Hell, without the front on it, it's as long as my mat is.
Yeah, it's taking up the whole screen there. The end of it's off. Yes, of course, the house hippos. Yeah, everyone's seen that one.
Yeah. Yeah, Ken showed us the house hippos.
Ken was talking about the chef in the restaurant. And yeah, she spills the hot, she goes to pick up the hot soup. She like scalds her whole body. And there was another one where the guy was on the step ladder and he goes to step up top and he falls off the step ladder and he like breaks his leg. These are like our TV commercials, public service announcements to be safe in the workplace.
Wow.
Yeah.
But I'm going to get out of here. Call it a night. Thank you, everybody, for stopping by. I appreciate it. Thank you, Jody, for producing.
You're welcome, my friend.
Let me get over here and I should have this memorized, but I always mess it up. Tomorrow night will be Keith working on his Goonies ship. That thing's looking cool too, man.
Where's Alec to put the whole schedule in the comments? Alec!
At 7 Eastern. Then Buck at 9 Eastern. I think he's going back to Hogwarts. I'm sorry, not Hogwarts. Not Lego, not Hogwarts.
I got a block model in the mail today.
Do what?
I got a building block model in the mail today.
What'd you get?
Oh, you guys will see it on Friday.
Oh, it's a surprise. Gotcha.
Well, it's a ship.
And then Wednesday night will be Woody Wednesday, working on the Istanbul. And then Thursday night, Aligning the Stars at 8 Eastern. I'm not sure. Will Jordan be working on the car, or is he going back to Kid again?
I'm not sure. I think he said he's got a lot of stuff for Kit, so I think he said he.
Yeah, last week he worked on Kid.
Yeah.
So it'll be night shift or dockyards or something.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the Friday night stream at 9 Eastern, Friday night. And then, are you going to stream before Andrew again?
I believe I will, yes, 6 o'clock.
And Jody at 6 Eastern, Saturday night. And then Andrew at 9 Eastern, Saturday night. And then back to, and then Sunday, the Sunday stream at 4 Eastern. Sunday.
Come on down to StreamYard Stadium. Watch Mayhem unfold as hobbyists make various models.
I like that. And then back to Monday night. But thank you, everybody, for stopping by. I appreciate it. Like and subscribe if you want. And we'll see you tomorrow night in the comments on Keith and Buck's stream. So have a good one, everyone. Appreciate it. Later.